Okay, welcome to Masculine Geek number 201 live stream D&D mini painting. It's funny, I set up this mini painting session before I took that poll about which MG shows are more interesting or what would you like to see more of, and I think Fireside Chats and D&D games were close first. And then it was guests and last, but not least. Last is the mini painting. But fuck you, we're here. So. Oh shit. So Robert and I were
it's not
talking.
like we don't talk and and do
Well, exactly.
things.
Well, I think part of it might be this is niche, and you don't see our expressions. You see our hand gestures and stuff. But too bad. This is what you're getting tonight. That's because that's what we want to do. And the people that are here want to be here, so that's always a plus.
Well, and some of them are even painting at home or have painted in the past. So,
Amos, you're just mad because I didn't invite you onto the stream. I'll bring you on in a little bit. Don't worry if you want to join. So I do have some Geek and Tell.
Oh, cool.
And some stories and whatnot. So the first Geek and Tell, which may be the only one we'll say. Every month I do a live stream, not a live stream. I do sometimes take video and photos, but I have a tabletop game around the actual live. My friends play,
right?
And I DM those games, and when I have an idea of sort of a final boss where the players have made a decision, they say, all right, we're going to go after this faction or this group, or we want to destroy or infiltrate or do reconnaissance here. So I'll draw out the map. Sometimes I'll have 3D dungeon tiles, and then I'll make sure I have the pre-painted, get them all ready to go. Although I do have some that are not painted, and I want to get to those later. But these are pre-painted were-rats.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. I've got 8 of these. These are the archers. So I'll use these as the foes. No, I didn't break out the Mind Flayer. There's going to be a Mind Flayer involved. And the Mind Flayer's got some pets, and I've got 8 of these. These are going to be more difficult to see. These are intellect devourers, which are essentially brains with legs. Kind of hard to see.
Yeah, it's focusing on your shirt and not on the minis.
All right. God damn it! Here, focus there, you fucker.
Yeah, but they're tiny little brains.
There you go.
There you go.
Little brain with legs. Let me do the rat were-rat again. Oh yeah, there we go. It should focus soon. Let's get that focus in. Come on, you fucker. Come on, high definition webcam. Get a nice relief map of my hand.
Yeah.
But these are, so anyway. So I got 8 of these intellect devourers in a dice container.
Cool.
Yeah. Thank you for doing the...
No, not a problem.
All right, so last time we convened for this, I was working on this Hook Horror. Hook Horror. So I need to get back doing him. Oh, what's that? That's the chest plate?
Yeah, it's a chest plate from a knight from Mythic Legions, and I'm doing some customization on that. And then chest plate for my female cleric.
Oh, cool.
And then Got some mechs I'm working on and stuff too. So as usual, I'm painting a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
Which means at some point something will eventually get done, but
Right. Well, that's what I'm doing with this other. I'm almost done. I think I'm finished with this Zorn,
mm-hmm.
and then I'm gonna do his sibling.
Okay.
Oh, I almost got a burp in the microphone. Okay. So let's see this Hokar. I got some shadowing in there on him. Looks pretty good.
Yeah.
I do need to do his eyes and his tongue and his beak.
Right.
So think the eyes, which are pupilless, will be red. So let's do that. A happy little red. All right, where's the fucking red? Come on, you fucker. Did I not bring out a red? I got Dragonfire red. That doesn't seem to be deep enough. Deep, like Amos's mom's. Never mind. So we
Hey, Amos's mom should be pretty hot, at least until she hit 50.
Yes,
she
Amos's
becomes
mom,
like a Chinese dumpling.
Literally.
Yeah.
I'm sure Amos's mom is on the cute side. All right, so the wet palette out here. I'm going to use this Cambion Crimson.
Okay.
I shake it. I get it. What are those shakers you were telling me about? Those automatic shakers. What are they called? Centrifugal?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do
you have a link for that?
I could probably dig one up. That's one of the things one of my lady friends got me. So I found that one of the best ways to be able to afford the lifestyle of which I've become accustomed and all the hobbies and things I collect is by letting women buy them for me.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Amos, your mom is flying in for Christmas? That's kind of cool. Does she like crackers? Yeah.
Now, is she flying in from that country off the coast of China that China says isn't a country? Well, China and John Cena say isn't a country.
Oh, shit. Actually, this Sanguine highlight would have been better. Let's see. Yeah, right. Fuck that guy. Shit. Just busted the fuck out of that thing. All right, let's open. Let's open this Privateer Press Sanguine highlight. Or, actually, Sanguine highlight, Sanguine base. Let's do Sanguine highlight. I like that better. I could always mix colors too.
Right. Hey, you did a show with Rob earlier in the week.
Oh yeah, I did. It was on Monday. He's doing he's off for the week.
Mm-hmm.
And he's not going anywhere. He's doing a staycation, but he decided to broadcast something with a guest every day. Tonight, he's having Chad Elkins on.
Mm-hmm.
Tomorrow is going to be a Let 'Em Burn marathon, which he invited me to that. I'll probably show up before I go to the gym.
Yeah.
So
I think Cappy's on tonight as well.
You got these guys fucking muscling in our time.
Yeah, I know.
These a-holes.
Yeah. It's like they knew we had this show scheduled, basically years in advance.
It's been January will be 4 years.
Yep, there you go.
So, and I will say we can lay claim. There's been a lot of spin-offs to Masculine Geek content. I'm not going to name any names. You know who they are.
Mm-hmm.
Doing geeky stuff on the side and kind of like positively ripping us off.
Yeah.
I don't mind. I find it flattering, and I think more men should do it. But hey, some attribution, please, you fucking cocks.
Mm-hmm.
I think the only one that gave us credit was Nick. He's like, yeah, you guys were an inspiration, which is cool. I like being an inspiration. Amos, when your mom comes out, I'll be an inspiration for her. If you're Well, I don't want you anywhere nearby if we're gonna do something. So
Mm-hmm.
get lost. All right. So this Camping Crimson looks pretty good. I can see that, but it's a little watery.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see. I may do a couple coats.
Does it need to be agitated a little bit more?
These are old. It could be some of their longevity,
Okay.
but they do work. They're a little thinner just by nature,
Mm-hmm.
but
They're like girls from the 70s, a little thinner by nature.
Exactly, and 80s too.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see if I can do this with the. So far, so good. Let me bring down this. Oh, that's better. The magnifier.
Okay.
This is a really shitty angle.
This kind of ties in with what we're doing. One of the founders and co-owner of Reaper Minis,
He passed.
yeah,
He
Edward
died
Pugh,
recently.
1958 to 2022. I don't know a lot of details as to how and why, but my relationship with Reaper Minis goes back to probably not too long after they were founded. I remember picking some up and seeing that they had like an address, and I mailed off and got one of their free catalogs. And what was cool is back in the day, they sent you the catalog so that you could order minis out of it. But they also sent you a coupon for like $10 in minis.
Oh, nice.
Which
A coupon that is actually worth something, you're saying?
Yes. Unlike something Cappy would send you.
Exactly. That's what I was worried about to get at.
But anyway, and this is back when a lead mini was around, $2, maybe $2.50 for one of the more expensive ones. So, a $10 worth of minis was no small thing. You were actually going to get.
You're going to get like 3 or 4, maybe 5 minis.
Yeah, exactly. And so, for 4 or 5 minis plus ordering some of your own, that was just absolutely golden. And the fact that they had hired sculptors who had used to work for like Raul Partha and Grenadier and stuff like that, people like Sandra Garrity and some others, you actually got really cool looking miniatures.
Yeah.
And so yeah, that's kind of sad at his passing, but
that is sad. How old was he? Do you know?
Like I said, he was born in 1958, I do believe.
Oh,
so
shit. He's up there.
Yeah, so
it's in his
1958 to 2022.
Okay. The math is hard. So
yeah,
someone else do that. I'm painting. Time for
probably about 10 years older than us, about 64, I would guess, 63, 64, depending on when his birthday fell in the year. But yeah, Raul Partha was one of my favorites.
Yes.
And there was a time back in the day, you had Kenner over in Cincinnati. I think Raul Partha was in Cincinnati. You had TSR up in Wisconsin. So growing up, even here in Indy, it was cool to think that, Kenner Toys is only a 2-hour drive away. Raul Partha Minis is a 2-hour drive away. TSR is, a 4 or 5 hour drive away. So it was kind of
cool close by. Yeah,
it was cool growing up in the Midwest.
Absolutely.
Back in the day.
It is cool. All right, let's see if I can do this without fucking up the gray. Should have done this first. Yeah, this is not gonna. I'm gonna do several coats of this.
Mm-hmm.
I wound up doing the base coat on his tongue,
Okay.
and the gray with the shadowing is really not doing too well
Mm-hmm.
with this pink. Have to lay it on thick. Nah. Let it dry and then do it again. Let's see here.
Yeah, it's a shame Rollo couldn't join us tonight.
Yeah, he's in Las Vegas doing the
I think
Michael
so.
Sartain stuff.
Yeah, plus he was on, I guess, Jedediah Bila earlier today and someone else. So
Who's
I don't know.
that?
She, you remember he did an appearance with her, and we could only get through like the first part of it because she kept interrupting him and like trying to like
Oh yeah, I
not all
remember
women
that.
him and stuff like that. Well, I guess since then they've I've seen some of their later stuff, and she's actually reached the point where she listens to what he has to say, and I guess they have developed a rapport. So he's guested on her show 3 times now, I think.
Oh, okay. Well, that's
But
good.
anyway, I was going to talk to him about the fact that I'd been reading a book recently on the Anglo-Zulu War, and actually one of the pretenses that the British used to invade Zululand was had everything to do with intersexual dynamics. There were a couple of women, one of whom at least was very highly connected in to the nobility, and she basically they'd run off with lovers. And so, of course, a family member, in one case, the son, got his mom, and the mom and the rival suitor were basically put to death, as was the custom.
Oh shit.
And in what was actually a patriarchal society, as opposed to the things feminists accuse us of being patriarchal, which we haven't
Right.
been in probably since before you and I were born. But anyway,
I'd argue even that wasn't patriarchal.
yeah. But so anyway, the British use that as a pretense to invade the Zulus. And what's interesting is the British government didn't want it to happen, but one of their representatives there thought, well, we could easily beat these primitive folk in such a short period of time that by news of our invasion reaches the UK and they tell us not to do it, it will be over. We'll have the territory and we won't be able to give it back. So,
I like it.
Yeah. And that isn't what happened. The Battle of Isandlwana happened, and pretty much an entire British army was wiped out to a man. And and then, of course, the Battle of Rorke's Drift happened right after, which is immortalized in the movie Zulu with Michael Caine from 1964,
oh, yeah, that's right.
I believe.
Yep.
But anyway, so
cool.
Yeah, Bila used to be on Fox News. I also think she was on The View for a while. She was their token conservative until they drove her out, like they tend to do most conservatives, token real or imagined. But anyway. But it's just funny because Rollo's always lamenting how much he'd rather be doing this, but when push comes to shove, You know,
Where's Rollo?
yeah,
You bastard. Well, I mean,
yeah. I mean, you know, it
we'll
just
set something up when he's. I know December he's got a lot of. He did mention he's got a lot of shit going on.
well, doesn't he have a daughter getting married or something like that?
That's news to me.
Yeah, I think his daughter is engaged, maybe or something. I seem to remember him mentioning something about that, but
Hmm.
I'm assuming since I know about it, it's not something secret. It wasn't something he had told me in confidence, so I don't think I'm betraying any trust in mentioning that. I believe it's something I heard him say publicly, which is
Okay. He may even
so.
said it on the Masculine Geek show.
Yeah, yeah. He may have said it there, or he may have said it on his show Sunday, because sometimes I am working so late on Sunday, and I am reaching a. Once I hit about the 14-hour mark on Sunday at work,
Jesus.
crunching numbers and finding out where money went and why it isn't where it should be and things like that. I'll pop his show on to YouTube because I don't have anyone in that particular office with me, so I can have that blaring, and it's just kind of nice to hear a friendly voice. Or in this case, Rollo, which, you know, however you want to take that.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So, are we going to have any more games before the end of the year, or will our next D&D game be sometime in January?
Well, I want to get Drew's game in at least. I doubt we'll have Rollo's, but I can inquire. Work stuff. Yeah, we'll probably do, if he's available to DM, we'll do Drew's next Wednesday, which puts that at, let's see, we got look at the calendar here. It says the 7th. So we have 3. I think Rollo said something about the 21st. No, wait a minute. Yeah, I think the 21st he can DM.
Okay.
I think. So we'll do the 14th. We'll do Drew's campaign. And then on the 21st, we'll do Rollo's. And then I probably will do a Saturday, Christmas Eve Rogue broadcast in the evening.
Oh, okay.
With the fire and the tree going on and everything.
Yeah. We did that last year. That was kind of enjoyable, I thought.
Yeah, that was cool. I enjoyed that myself. Let's see. Invite.
Yeah, similar, Chris. Women always getting things going.
Oh, so Rob had Aaron and Chad on.
Yeah.
Those faggots.
Yeah, they don't have what it takes to paint men. So fuck them.
Oh well, considering they should be used to touching small things.
Yeah.
They you think they'd be good at it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, come on, shit.
Well, and since Rob basically looks like a yard gnome, and it's about the same scale, so
Right.
yeah. Oh, I think Jack posted a picture of you, Rob, and
Well, I mean,
him at
I saw that, but he's incorrect. He posted that like when we got back from the trip, so
mhm.
he forgot that he did it because somebody was making a comment like where my hand was behind Rob,
Yeah.
and I said shh. That's my response. But yeah, you can see the height difference
Yeah.
in that photo.
Yeah, Jack is bigger than he sounds.
Yeah, he's 6'1", I think,
Mhm.
or at least 6 feet.
Mhm.
I'm 5'10", a little shorter, and Rob's clocking in at 5'4".
Mhm. 5'4", bald, and doesn't lack for female companionship.
Nope.
So all the little black pillars out there, what the hell are you bitching about?
Yeah. I had 2 this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
My main girl, and then I posted a Instagram
Mm-hmm.
screenshot of a text message.
Mm.
She's been in my world for over a decade, former coworker,
Uh-huh.
and she's 4'11", very
Mm.
petite. So even in heels, she's dwarfed by me.
So you're getting some of that halfling action.
Well, I prefer to fling my women around the bedroom for a variety of reasons. It's just, especially with bondage, it's easier.
Right.
If you have a woman mummified or tied up, you need to be able to maneuver her around.
Mm-hmm.
Not that I don't like taller women or slightly a little larger. I don't like obese women, but a little bit of weight that's curvy in all the appropriate places. Absolutely, I don't mind that at all. In fact, I like that. It's good for flogging and spanking because they can usually take it better.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so your tongue's looking pretty good.
That's good.
It'd be hard to tell. Yeah, the light. I'll have to remove the light. I'll put a second coat on that when it dries.
Now, how are your Zorns?
This Zorn. Let's see. Let's look at this Zorn. I got his eye and his black pupil slits. I got the teeth, the maw.
Mm-hmm.
I've got the highlighting and some of the shadows.
Okay.
I think I just want these guys to be. I got some gold. How do I get gold on him? That's right. Probably when I was doing the
chest.
Gold in the Beholder.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just want these to be
table ready.
Table ready. Yeah. So well, actually, I have to do the base,
mm-hmm.
and then I'll be done him, and then his buddy has to get all the fillings. He's got to get the good stuff on, so I can work on them as well. Now let's clean this brush. A little water here. We got the MG Bob Ross mini painting series.
Mm-hmm.
A bit of warm water. Let that dry. Oh, shit.
Now, when is your convention? You got a convention when you're going to be meeting with a couple of ladies? Is that?
Mm-hmm.
When is that? Is that next month or is that this
that
month?
That is the second week in January.
Second week in January. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be interesting.
Oh, it certainly sounds like it's got the potential to be quite an interesting weekend.
Yeah, I want to meet her first and see if we resonate, aka vibe. You have to, guys have to do those things. And if we do, I don't suspect it'll be an issue, but I want
No,
to make sure. There shouldn't be any problem on my end. But
yeah. Now your prime girl's already vetted her, kind of, right? Did I understand that right?
she has, yeah.
Yeah.
Some of that she's done on her own because she knows who I am, and
Mm-hmm.
some of it's through my instruction.
Right.
So, but I've been with my main girl for October was a year.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, she's under active orders to recruit women.
Mm-hmm.
My plan is to get them both into predicament bondage.
Right.
And if you are fortunate enough to be accepted on the Masculine Geek Instagram, you'll get to see photos and a scene report. If you're on Masculine Geek Life, you're going to get a lot more than that, but that's for subscribers.
Right.
We do the base. Let me work on the base of him now. Let's see. He's kind of gray, so I don't want to put him on gray.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I'll put him on brown. A brown, like a dirt base. So the two browns that I have out now, let's see. Privateer Press, I've got bootstrap leather. The D&D ones, I've got Bugbear Brown and Owlbear Brown. No, Owlbear Brown is darker than Bugbear Brown. Which I did the two Zorns in different colors, which is kind of cool. I did one with Bugbear and one with Owlbear, so they're different shades, which is nice. They're brothers, but they're different shades.
Right.
So I think I'll do... contrast might be nice. I think I'll do the Bugbear Brown for the base of the Hokar. Shake this bastard up. Yeah, I need to get that paint mixer.
Mm-hmm.
Take a sip of sparkling water. Actually, this is mineral water.
Oh, okay. You're not imbibing this evening?
I haven't been imbibing during the week lately. It might look like it, but a lot of my drinks are not alcoholic.
Any particular reason? Training?
No, well, I've been getting back to the gym more.
Right.
I'd like to get back into Kung Fu. We'll see, the first of the year. Just to kind of dry out.
Right.
Like to detoxify. It's just good for you.
Yeah, I miss doing martial arts.
It's fun.
Oh, it is.
Yep. And it's satisfying to spar and smash someone's face in, to be honest with you.
Well, it has been my experience. I think you probably have the same problem. Being one of those kind of brainy kids whose mind was always kind of working and puzzling things out and thinking about things and daydreaming and you know the whole thing. Most guys who tend to be into most guys of our generation who were into things like D&D were that brainy sort of, you know, dreamer sort of people.
Masculine geeks.
Yeah, exactly. But with martial arts, whether it was doing Kung Fu or doing fencing, any of those kind of martial sport type activities were the only time that I was so focused on what I was doing that I wasn't thinking. You know,
right.
You're just
doing.
Yeah, you were acting and reacting, finding that zone.
Flow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that I miss. I miss being able to be so in tune to everything and yet having tuned everything out all at the same time, that you're just in this space in your head where movement and thought are all one.
No mind.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I
That's
miss
true.
that.
Yeah, that's true. I know what you're talking about. That I miss that as well.
Mhm.
Chris, yeah, I am going with the lighter shade, and that's a good idea to do the Army Painter Strong
Mhm.
stain. I've got those new bottles, so I'll use those. They're coming out nice. I've used them already, just in general. But getting back to your saying, Robert, yeah, I know I missed that as well. So it was a toss up between that and boxing.
Mhm.
I did a little bit of that in my youth.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
That I've never done beyond just some what little bit was included in some self-defense in like the military and like
Mm.
Marine ROTC and that kind of stuff. But Kung Fu and karate, I absolutely loved.
Oh, yeah.
Love. And fencing.
Yep, I did about half a year of that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've still got large thighs and glutes because of that.
That's a bonus.
Yeah, it is as long as you keep it all muscle.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
Yeah. Which obviously is not impossible to do in men our age, as
No.
our
As
pal
rule of
Drew
thumb.
Bay demonstrates on a
Yep.
regular basis. Do you see the tweet he put out about letting his beard grow and darkening it and going
Oh,
as
and
a
doing some kind of
God of
like,
War from?
yeah, that'd be kind of cool. I wouldn't keep that
Mm-hmm.
if he asked me, "Hey, Vince, what do you think I should?" Which he won't, but
Yeah.
what do you think I should do? Well, I think you should do that for a little bit. I wouldn't keep it as your brand look.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not quite
Definitely
a Jack
do it for
Murphy
Halloween.
beard, but it's a little too close.
Yeah, right. I know, right?
Yeah. But yeah, he's definitely got the physique to pull off the character. Even though
Oh,
I've never
absolutely.
played the video game, I'm vaguely familiar with it. At least know what he looks like.
Mm-hmm. So far, this light color is looking pretty good for the base. Pleased with it. Huh. Any big plans for Christmas?
No, I think it is going to be a pretty small affair. I will probably have at least one, if not two, of my sons over.
Okay.
The younger two. Of course, I say the younger two. That's 8 and 22. So yeah. Well, the
That's
older
quite a
ones are over
spread.
30. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, every 10 years, younger model, newer kid. It's just kind of how it works.
There you go.
But anyway, only slightly facetious. Actually, my second wife was older than my first. Ex-wife number 2 is actually older than ex-wife number 1.
Oh,
But
okay.
anyway, but she was still new and wanted her own kids. So
Hmm.
who am I to deny a woman the privilege of having my child? So
I like it.
yeah, actually, I like the idea of Drew for Halloween doing that one GI Joe character Outback. Remember he
Oh
posted
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
picture? I mean, that he almost doesn't have to do anything.
That is true.
Yeah. So
That is true. He could also grow his beard out and do a mall Santa, like a jacked mall Santa.
yeah.
Get all the hot milfs.
Mm-hmm. Sounds like Chris is going to be doing some hunting on Christmas.
What?
Chris is talking about
Oh, okay.
yeah, Xmas plans for him, dinner with mom, and get out and try to bring a deer home.
Cool.
So
You have to let us know how that goes.
yeah.
Since you are now a loyal MG listener and watcher.
Sad thing is, I don't think he has anywhere to post the picture.
Well, if he's a masculine geek life, he could post it on his profile.
Yeah.
Post it up there in our forums and discuss it.
Mm-hmm.
But no.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of excited because Christmas is on a Sunday, and it'll be the first Sunday in a while that I haven't worked. So that'll be nice.
Oh, that will be good, yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool. Oh, shit.
Did you have a happy accident? Isn't that what Bob Ross says? Just
Fuck
happy
that guy.
accidents. Yeah. He's dead. So he probably couldn't resist, but you know.
Right. I planted the base firmly into the water on the wet pallet. That's all right.
Yeah.
There's no pain on that, on the bottom part. I just wasn't expecting to do that.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. You are on Twitter now. You do follow us.
Oh, cool. Yeah, you bag something, make sure you post a pic. I mean, think about it. We'll be entertained by it, and somewhere out there will be a vegan that's all pissed off that you killed Bambi. So it's like a win-win.
Right. I'm trying to hold him without marring the surface here. Did I do that side? I think I did. Oh, so I purchased the Margaret Weiss, Tracy Hickman audiobook of Dragons of Autumn Twilight.
Okay. Anyone of note reading it?
It's really good. He does the characters very well, different voices. I'll find his name in a minute.
Okay.
I have the phone right here. I've never listened to the audiobook.
Mm-hmm.
I've read it several times.
Yeah.
I was 14 when that came out, because that came out, it was released in November 1984.
Okay.
And I remember it vividly. It's a very good memory because up until really that fall, a couple months before, my brother and I had been sharing a room. I was 14, still sharing a room, a small little rancher house with my brother. My parents put an addition on the house, and I got my own room, nice big room. It had a bed and it had a bed, a dresser drawer, some shelves with my books, D&D stuff, and the central heating, even though they put in the duct work, wasn't strong enough to actually force warm air back.
Right.
room, so it was fucking freezing. So
Mm.
my parents picked me up a really heavy duty kerosene heater.
Okay.
So it was almost like having a fireplace.
Right.
And the smell of the kerosene, I'd leave the window open to get airflow in the winter.
Mm-hmm.
And I was laying on my bed reading the first Dragonlance book, the Chronicles.
Mm-hmm.
Have very good memories of doing that. It's really cool. That's why Dungeons and Dragons always associate with Christmas. The Christmas of '84, I got all the was it 13 or 14? I think it was 14 when I got all the AD&D books
Okay.
and some of the modules and the Ral Partha figures. Just a really good time. And there's nothing like growing up in the 80s.
Right.
So Christmas time is very magical for me. Even to the point of the ritual of the Christmas tree, because my parents would, whether it was a live tree or an artificial tree,
Mm-hmm.
they would not put it up, just set the tree up. They would put that up on December 23rd.
Right.
And then Christmas Eve was a ritual where we would have dinner relatively early and then decorate it together as a family.
Oh, wow.
And then afterwards, we'd have what my mom would call the Christmas Eve layout of food and drink.
Mm-hmm.
And it was sort of like an open door policy. Just, invite all your friends and they'd come over. And, cheese and crackers and cake and cookies and Christmas candy and all kinds of good stuff. Roast beef sandwiches. To me, it's just, I've never lost... there's several things I've never lost the awe and wonder of, thank God. But Christmas time, it will never be tainted for me. So that's why I like. And I've posted a few times on Twitter and Instagram. I'm sitting in front of the fire, going over some D&D history. I break out my D&D books,
Right.
and I'm just happily reliving memories from the '80s. It's really cool.
I don't know. For a long time, I was very kind of bah humbug about Christmas.
Yeah.
The last few years, I've tried to modify that a little bit, only because of my son, my youngest. He is absolutely mental for Christmas. Christmas and Halloween are his two favorite times of the year.
Oh yeah.
He sings Christmas songs all year long. He's just that
good for him.
Well, he's not sent to public school, so he's not been brutalized by.
Yeah, there you go.
People.
Good man. Yep.
And so he absolutely loves it. So I've been trying to be more tolerant of it and everything. I do not put up the tree. His mother, will put the tree up and she can do the decorating for Christmas. That can be her thing. But when he's with me, I will play Christmas music for him because it entertains him. But I'm usually only playing like the traditional Christmas stuff. So like on the Christmas Traditions channel on Sirius XM has Christmas music from like the 40s, 50s, and 60s.
Oh yeah,
so
that's good stuff. Bing Crosby and shit.
Yeah, Dean Martin and Frank Sinatra, Perry Como, Andy Williams, Doris Day, all that kind of stuff.
I don't care that he beat his kids. He's got a great voice.
Yeah, so that's what I'll play for him, and then for myself, I'll flip over to the rock Christmas channel.
Oh, there you go.
Because I mean, one of my favorite Christmas songs is "Father Christmas" by the Kinks, which is
Father
about
Christmas, give us your money.
Yeah,
don't mess around with those silly toys. That's right. Yeah, it's good stuff.
Yeah, so that's more my speed. So speaking of beating up Santa Claus, hey Amos, how you doing?
Oh, Amos, I forgot you were there. You may go. You may go now. What's up, man?
What about beating up Santa Claus?
We're gonna. You've never heard that song?
No.
Oh my God, Robert, cue it up somehow on your PC and let's play it.
Okay, let's see what we can.
I don't care that if we get demonetized.
I was about to say
we're not monetized anyway, so. Unless you feel like sending us super chats, anyone in the chat, that's fine.
Yeah, you're more than welcome to send us money. We'll use it to buy more paints, but
Exactly.
let's see.
Yeah, once we hit the 100 mark, I share the money with Robert, James, and TJ. So we each get $25. Buy some paints.
I was about to say, I don't think TJ will do much painting.
He's not doing painting. He can do other stuff with it. Can buy himself a bottle of wine, share it drink it on the channel.
He could buy himself a D&D book and read it.
Don't get me started on that.
Oh, jeez.
Or a pair of non-loaded dice.
Right. Well, the new dice that he bought when he was out here are more than making up for it. He got some sucky ass rolls last time.
Yeah.
Well, that's more like it. That's a little more realistic, TJ.
Yeah.
Make sure I don't drink this paint water. Put that over
let's see. I was going to do this a different way, but my phone's in the other room, so I'm going to try it this way. So let's see if this will. See,
you can share it on like YouTube. It's a classic. Base is looking pretty good. Mineral water. I make some tea in a moment, I think. Some black seed tea.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, see?
Some tea, see?
Some tea, see, you son of a bitch. So how you doing, Amos? You good?
A little under the weather.
Oh, you're sick?
Literally the moment I got back.
Oh shit.
I was like, oh, I just felt real tired, and I just went to bed early the first time I'm back. Slept 12 hours.
Oh shit.
And I was like, well, that's weird. And then,
but I'm sure it felt good.
Yeah, and then I slept. Then I was like feeling a little off. Then a couple nights was actually feeling kind of like a decline, just congestion. My head feels a little something, but maybe I caught like a very little something on the flight back or something. I don't know.
Possibly, yeah.
But I gotta basically rest because I'm due to I'm flying to DC next week. So.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah. So. That's more formal. It's training plus all staff Christmas party.
Okay.
So, yep, lots of fun. Then the day before I fly back is the day my mother flies in from Taiwan.
Oh, okay.
So my love.
Give her my love.
I swear. Yeah, like Burl Ives says, "Kiss her once for me."
Kiss her once for me. Yeah.
I've always wondered if there's someone out there who like kissed someone and like looked at the woman he kissed and said, and that was from Burl Ives.
That's from Burl Ives, bitch. It's possible. You never know. Yeah. All right, this is gonna look good. I think this is like a burgundy. All right, let's see here. Let's use this little guy here. Painting the maw, the inside maw of the.
Yeah, not too much going on. I had to do some. I guess is that logistical? I don't know. I had to take an inventory of iPads.
Oh yeah.
Because we use iPads for field work that we do. So
okay.
I had to count all the ones I had and then found out, we're missing one. And it's been gone for a year. So it's not my fault.
Somebody stole that shit.
Well, it's funny. Someone has that one, and then I have another one that I'm not supposed to have. So.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I don't know.
Whoops.
Yeah.
You got a shitty IT department.
Yeah, they're trying to recover, like, trying to just get an inventory of, I think it was like almost
use
like $1 million worth of iPads.
Jesus, you got to use AirWatch for that, so you can keep track of stuff and see what's going on them and everything.
Oh, they were able to tell me. Like, I said, all right, I'm missing this one. Can you ping it for me? Well, we haven't gotten a signal from it since last year, so it's probably
Well,
lost.
that sounds like.
And I
lost.
only came on board in September, so
Yeah, definitely not your fault.
yeah. And I said, I got this other one that I can't find in the inventory. And they said, oh, yeah, that one's supposed to be lost. So give that back to us. I'm like, all right. They brick them if they're lost for too long, basically.
Oh, okay.
Man,
You ready for this, Amos?
you've got too many tabs open.
Oh, I know I do. I've
No, many.
been busy working.
Unlike Amos is just slacking with iPads.
I sent in some expense reports.
Oh God, your TP reports.
Yeah. It's just anytime transactions come through on the company card, I have to submit a report.
That makes sense. Got to be accountable. Let her rip there, Robert.
Okay.
It's not coming through.
He didn't press the check.
Oh,
mark
the
for
tab
for
thing.
the,
Yeah.
for the sound. Yeah,
Yeah.
you got to start it over.
Yeah.
Got to
Yeah.
reshare it. Yeah, got to reshare it. See?
Okay.
Yeah, boomer.
Yeah,
wait,
both of
this
you.
is- I have my moments.
Actually, are you guys Gen X or Boomers?
I'm a Gen X.
Gen X.
Yeah,
Okay.
I was born in 1970. So the 70s and 80s were and 90s were really good times.
All right. Have you done something, Vince? Because I was seeing stuff I wasn't seeing before. So I was.
No, well, you're a co-host, so you have more options to do shit.
Okay.
But when you go to share, you have to make sure you share you press the audio. The sharing of the audio is not set by default. So you have to,
okay.
you have to. There's a check mark when you go to share in the box when you go to choose. You have to make sure you have the audio button.
Okay.
Check that the check box checked off.
Okay.
But yeah, you, Drew, had to pay for extra slots. But you, Drew, TJ, and Rollo are co-hosts.
Okay.
Which means you can share, make screens larger and show up banners and put up people's super chats and stuff.
All right. I'm guessing it's probably better just to share the window. There we go. Try this again.
Let's get to it, see? Yeah.
Nope. Ain't hearing it.
What the fuck?
I checked the box.
Do you have your volume turned up?
Yeah, and it's cranking through my headset, so that's why I'm wondering if my headsets are throwing it off.
Let's see if I...
Well, if you find an Amos, go ahead and... That looks really good. The mall. It's like a burgundy mall.
I could hear it. You guys want to hear it too.
You what?
I could hear it. It just started playing because I clicked on it.
Oh.
Yeah,
like,
well,
I was like, you guys want to hear it too, though.
Well, you can share it, and Robert can throw it up. He has a capability as being a host. Let people in and out.
Ah. Here we go. Sure. Yep. Is it coming
Throw it
through?
up there, Robert. Robert has to throw it up onto the.
Yeah, I'll take care of that. I just saw it.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Fucking hair.
There we go.
All right. Tell me you can hear this.
Yeah, I can hear it.
So when you click share, you just go and you click Chrome tab.
Mm.
You don't click window or screen. Oh.
Take this YouTube algorithm.
Right.
I bet my dad would have. He probably knew about this, just never introduced it to me.
Right.
A gang of kids came over and mugged me and knocked my reindeer to the floor. We said, Father Christmas, give us some money. Don't mess around with those silly toys. We'll beat you up, don't hand it over. We want your bread, so don't make us annoyed. Give all the toys to the little rich boy. Don't give my brother a Steve Austin outfit. Don't give my sister a cuddly toy. We don't want a jigsaw or Monopoly money. We only want the real McCoy. Father Christmas, give us some money. We'll beat you up if you make us annoyed. Father Christmas, give us some money. Don't mess around with those silly toys. But give my daddy a job cause he needs work. He's got lots of mouths to feed. But if you've got one, I have a machine gun, so I can scare all the kids on the street.
Machine gun.
Christmas, give us some money. We got no time for your silly toys. We'll beat you up.
See,
Don't hand it over. We want your bread, so don't
1977. Wow.
Yeah,
Yep.
it was a magical year.
Yes, indeed. I was 7 years old.
I was 9.
There you go.
Let's say, yeah, my dad would have been 11 years old. Yeah.
How old is your dad?
He was born in November of 67. So, actually, hold on. Maybe almost 10 by then, yeah.
Jesus, Robert and I could be your fucking father.
Yes.
I think we've talked about
Probably. Damn kids, get off my lawn.
Yeah. No, when I was growing up in Taiwan, my exposure.
Yeah, you were
to-
made in Taiwan.
No, actually, so wait. I think possible. I was born here, probably made there before they moved here.
Hmm.
But then we moved to Taiwan again, and my introduction to music was the Beatles and Queen
Oh, I'm
and
sorry
the
to hear
Rolling
that.
Stones.
Oh, Queen's
What do you
alright. Queen's fine. Beatles are. It depends on the Beatles.
Oh,
it
like
po-
what era?
Is it pre-60s? Beatles?
I don't remember. I mean, it was pretty. Like, it wasn't any of the new stuff. So
Before they started smoking shit and taking drugs and
there's
getting
nothing wrong
all,
with that.
no, but it really fucked
It
up their
affected their
music.
music.
I like the head candy pop music Beatles,
Okay.
not the I am the walrus bullshit.
Yeah,
I don't think I got too into that. I mean, even like Jimi Hendrix, I remember that. Styx.
Sticks are alright. They're okay.
Yeah, the earliest Beatles were probably my favorite
Mm-hmm.
Beatles.
Yeah.
I mean, when they were actually like playing rock music.
Exactly. That
Yeah, back
fucking-
then it was 60s
fucking
and 70s
sitar
rock.
and shit.
Yeah.
Get out of here with that crap.
Some 80s rock for sure. So like 90s and 2000s music, I didn't get exposed to a lot of
You're
until
not
I came back.
kind of not missing anything.
No.
Well, yeah, like when I came back and was old enough, like kids were like, "Oh, you didn't grow up with Backstreet Boys and NSYNC." I'm like, no.
Thank God. Rot your fucking brain out, man. It's like sugar.
Hmm. Yeah, I could listen to some pretty bubblegum pop music, but the benefit of being able to listen to some really bubblegum chick pop music from the 70s is that by doing so, I got to hang out with girls in the
Yeah.
70s, and that was its own form of fun. There was one young lady I still remember quite fondly. I was sitting at her place listening to her older sister's albums, looking at her dad's Playboys, and one thing led to another. And I'm in her room and she's taking her top off. So
Exactly.
yeah, those were golden days.
Right? So nice. It was all pre-internet too.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Yeah.
And still, some of the worst advice on women I ever got was from a woman.
Oh, of course. That doesn't change.
No, it doesn't. It absolutely doesn't.
No.
Even when they don't, even when they're not trying to mess you up and screw you over, they just do. They can't help it. It's funny. I mean, some of the advice I've gotten from women in the 70s would be criminal offenses in our current era. So, make of that what you will.
We'll do the wash on the bottom.
Yeah, I remember
Awesome.
growing up, the running gag with my dad was, he'd tell me about an artist or band,
Hmm.
and I said, "So are they? Did they do drugs and die too, Dad?"
Jesus.
Because it was like
Holy
every
shit.
other artist. Yeah, they did a lot of drugs and died.
Right.
Were you telling your dad Pollock jokes? Be honest, Amos. Were you?
No, so he told me one was really good. I told my my colleagues over in Atlanta. So so why do Polacks have green hair?
Why?
Now you guys are watching me, right? You see me?
Yeah.
Okay.
I see you.
I don't know.
Fortunately,
God. I should have enlarged your screen for that one.
right. You have to eat them. Let's get a little background music going.
What was that, Amos?
Right? I can unmute myself.
I know you can.
Amos, you playing any D&D
For
lately?
5 minutes.
Just with you guys.
No, around the tabletop with your friends.
No.
Oh, I'm sorry. You don't have local friends. That's right.
Actually, I was. So part of my job is community building, and I was thinking of using it as a way of like getting people together.
That's actually
Like, granted, I'll have to probably have to put a bit of a filter on certain things.
Oh yeah.
But
Good idea.
Oh yeah, like I mean, it's pretty open ended on as to what I can really do.
Mhm.
I have colleagues that this guy.
You're all muted and shit. It sounds like
Yeah,
you're talking
I'm not
underwater.
swearing around with you, Amos, but you sound like you're underwater.
Hello.
Yeah,
That's
that's
better.
better.
So
Okay.
Get the dirty dick out of your mouth.
No, basically there's an older guy in our organization. He gets his sort of volunteer base from his local church because he's like a choir director or something.
Yeah.
But then you have like younger guys around my age, and they'll do one guy likes to take his volunteers out to go watch like anime or something.
Oh, okay.
It's all just things that we basically are doing to like offer value beyond just like, hey, thanks for showing up to help us with whatever we're doing. See you next week. It's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh,
That's cool.
we're gonna take you out to eat. We're gonna go do some stuff.
You gotta
We're
butter you up.
generating. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
but it's
that's,
like,
you know,
but it's honestly a thing that actually like political parties don't do. Like it's a
Really?
very lacking thing in like, Republicans,
okay.
Democrats, and not so surprising, libertarians as well.
They
They
don't
they
do it
pretty
either?
much they'll have people show up. They'll hey, thanks for coming out.
Hmm.
We'll see you next time.
Really?
It,
That's kind of
it's
lame.
it's kind of a, like I said, it's any political party that does that. They don't really. It's just not like a very, I don't know, development of like just giving a shit about people, I'd say. Like
There's no appreciation.
there's no real appreciation. It's just kind of
Yeah.
like, oh, like the appreciation is just, oh, like you're looking good. That's about it.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, yeah, we're gonna pay you an exposure.
Yeah, I don't think so.
That kind of BS. So
Yeah, it's good for your resume. Err.
exactly.
Mhm.
And I've had people that have worked that I've hired during the election season, and they would go back to where they're from, like what organization they were working with, and they would just like realize, oh, yeah, this is an actual like different thing. Like one guy I know, he went to go do like an adopt a highway, clean the sides of a highway kind of thing.
Yeah.
They were out there for a couple hours, and he asked the guy organizing it, like, hey, like you could have like appropriated some funds with the board to like, take these people out to like, I don't know, take them out
Something
for
to eat.
pizza or
Yeah, something to fucking drink or something.
bring some water or whatever out. Someone probably brought some water, and that was that. But like the response he got was, well, we should just be glad we have help. And I'm like, really? He said, and he goes, yep, yeah, it's interesting. All I did was bring out like water and some snacks every now and then for people that either volunteer to work for me, and they're like surprised, like, oh, hey,
Yeah.
you give a shit about us?
Well, yeah, well, that's it. It's the small gestures that
Yeah,
really count for something. It's like it's showing that you're aware that they're there and helping you out.
yeah, putting in time and effort to
Yeah.
connect with people. Like, I also have contacts that I have like to talk to about legislation or something. So I'll like take them out to breakfast or lunch or something, and I just pay for it.
Go to the old IHOP.
One was like a hole in the wall like waffle place that was like local.
Oh,
So it's a
that's
local
cool.
place.
You do the local business. Yeah.
Yep.
Cool.
And this is someone that I know that's actually opening. So she's opening up a new, she says wellness, but basically it's a THC shop.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
THC, CBD,
Mhm.
but and what I use her as a contact is basically to like as a resource to talk to go over like, so Minnesota wants to legalize marijuana this year, but like there's all sorts of hurdles to overcome with that, and there's a lot of different, some people are pushing like, oh, we should tax it this much or we should tax it this little. Some people are arguing, okay, what should we do about people who purchase? Should they be afraid or worried at all about their Second Amendment rights? Some states didn't consider that, so anyone who's suspected of purchasing or in possession, even though it's illegal, they'll have their gun rights revoked, essentially.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah,
I've got a
because
guy,
the conflict between federal and state,
and
It's
that's
the same
another
problem
thing
with
too.
banking.
Banking, because FDIC.
Mhm.
Marijuana is still a Schedule 1 substance, so FDIC protections get a little muddy with that. So if a bank knows that you're trading in, you know, your money, your income is coming in through a Schedule 1 substance, they kind of can't bank with you. So you might, either you got to go through a local credit union, which is really tricky too, or just someone that, or you find a way to
Crypto.
there's that, which is its own segment, but you also have to sort of essentially disinfect and launder your transactions. So you could say, I am purchasing a gift card from this place that I am then using to purchase other things. So also you'll see, like, whether it's dispensaries or just shops that will say that they, all their sales are in gift cards.
Oh, okay.
That's how they have to put it on their books for banks and stuff to let it go.
Well, it's kind of like pachinko parlors in Japan. Since gambling's like illegal, you get your little ticket and you use your ticket to get a package of cigarettes for like $100, and then you go next door with that $100 package of cigarettes, and what do you know? There's a guy right next door that'll give you 100 yen for your package of cigarettes. So
yeah.
I love it. For every problem government creates, there are always people that are inventive that figure out ways to work around it, which makes you wonder what wonderful things we would come up with if government would just get out of the way.
Yeah, Minnesota went blue, but and then right away the lawmakers came out and said, since we have a Democrat majority, they said we will legalize this year or this. At first they said this year, and then about a couple weeks later they said this session, and then a couple weeks later they said we might this session, and then now they're like, we're gonna try. So they've moved the goalpost from we will do it to we're gonna try.
We got elected. That's all we need. So fuck you.
Yeah. Well,
it's.
I wonder where their money's coming from if they're changing.
Oh yeah.
They're
Democrats that are against legalization, even though they're supposed to be the pro legalization party.
Yeah.
So we have to basically kind of figure out, okay, who wants what do we need to get this done. Another thing too is, like, Minnesota regulates hemp products and marijuana products separately. So that creates a whole nother can of worms, because you can get THC from hemp, but not in much of a quantity as marijuana. So when they regulate them separately, what happens is, like, if I go into a medical dispensary, because medical is legal in Minnesota, they have a security guard and they have what's called an airlock system. You walk in, there's a security guard that has to, like, almost like, like a door, kind of buzz you in, check your ID to let you roam around inside the dispensary. You make your purchase, you present your card, then you leave. Whereas if I go to, like, a regular old shop that just derives all their products from hemp, I can just walk in like I'm walking into a convenience store, pick up what I want, use my card, and leave. So they're wondering, like, are they going to try to bring those together? So now all these shops that have been operating, selling, what they've been selling, now they have to, like, upgrade everything. Now they got to put in security. Now they got to hire someone. Now there's also another thing. They want the government to have a way to tap into your POS system to monitor your inventory. Well, what does that mean then? Well, what if one day the government server that monitors that is down? Well, you can't sell anything. Well, that's not fair. I should be able to just maintain my own inventory and just sell what I'm legally allowed to sell. So all these things, yeah. Like, we have way more history in our country, and just as a, for humans, that this has never been a problem. You figured we learned real quick what happened when we prohibited, alcohol, and now we've prohibited cannabis for longer than that, and we just haven't learned. We're putting in all these conditions on it, and everyone's arguing why we shouldn't legalize, like it's a rational argument. They think, I've had people that use these products tell me, well, I just don't think it's a good thing because of the kids.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think, what if kids get their hands on it? I said, just swap out marijuana with alcohol. Do you have that same concern? Because kids get their hands on alcohol all the time. We don't really talk about it that way. Well, I just don't like the culture. Okay. Parents that have parties and get drunk around their own kids. You think that's okay? Well, that's their own choice. Then they should have their own choice to indulge in marijuana if they wanted to. We're not the moral police for kids on some of these things.
Right.
I can understand other issues for sure, but on this, it's like alcohol is way more destructive, and it has its own set of problems, and we're working on those, but we haven't we're not people aren't arguing for prohibiting alcohol. So,
well, that's because the liquor lobby is way too powerful for that.
Yeah, you can go to, I think, there's states that, even the strictest states on alcohol, you can still buy it.
Mm-hmm.
Like Utah, when we were there, it's all state-run liquor stores. But people still, no one's arguing whether or not it should be legal. The lobby is still there for them to make their money.
Right. Well, unfortunately, the liquor lobby here, which donates heavily to our governor, who's a Republican, who's best friends with a guy. In fact, I think his former campaign manager has like 21 liquor stores. So
sure.
That is why up until just a couple years ago, you could not buy alcohol on Sundays in the state of Indiana.
Oh.
And now you can, but you cannot buy cold alcohol in convenience stores. You can only buy those in liquor stores. So
you can buy warm just stuff that's not in the fridge?
Yeah, so your local Speedway gas station, I could buy a 6-pack of Rob's
shitty warm beer.
Miller Lite warm. But if I go to a liquor store, I can buy it cold. So, and of course, yes, the Republicans in the state of Indiana are basically rhinos. That's
like saying you could go to the marijuana store, buy a pack of hash, but you can't buy the paper to roll them. You got to go to a tobacco store to do that or something, right?
Yeah.
It's like, okay.
Yeah, we have a supermajority of Republicans in Indiana, and they have absolutely no fear of Democrats, even though they allow our capital city to be run by Democrats and have a Democrat representing them in the Senate or in Congress. But they just have no fear, so they do whatever they want. We are heavily taxed in the state in a lot of different ways, not least of which is property tax, which the assessors have just, because of the economy and everything else, some people have gone from paying a couple $100 a year in property taxes, which is wrong anyway for several different reasons, because if you're not actually doing something to sell the property, you're not actually making money off the property. It's just where you live. But anyway, now that couple $100 bill has gone up to around 1,000, give or take, depending on where they are. And there's no, that's just how it was assessed. Well, what formula did you use for that assessment? Well, there are various market factors and da. So, yeah, it's Jefferson's tree is in desperate need of watering. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. And if you think Party A is going to save you over Party B, you're wrong. That's not how it works. Even George Washington saw that. Even George Washington saw the dangers in parties.
I don't even have a lot of faith in Party C.
No. Well, Party C, and I vote for Party C more than I probably do anything else.
Oh yeah.
Party C has a problem that they're not sure if they want to be a legitimate political party or if they want to be the D&D club. You know, because we're cool and we're nerds and we're not Republicans and we're not Democrats. We're, you know, but
we also can't relate to anyone else.
Yes. So, you know, the last thing on
There's
earth
that.
sometimes I think the libertarians want to do is actually win an election. Now, lately here in Indiana, that's been different. That was different in the governor's race a couple years ago, and that was different, especially in the Secretary of State race. Maurer here. We actually had a couple of decent libertarian candidates that actually did fairly well, all things considered. Sadly, they just did not have enough reach in the state because they can't locally within the radius of the capital city. The Democratic candidate easily got his 10% or over to get on the ballot. And to get access to things that the other two major parties have access to that they purposefully keep the libertarians from having. However, outside of the radius of the capital city and the donut county surrounding it, they just didn't have the traction because, you know, it's one thing to buy airtime on a, you know, 50,000 watt radio station out of Indianapolis. It's another thing to spend that kind of money all over the state of Indiana in the small counties and stuff like that, especially where we're one of the states that have one party voting. So instead of going through the ballot and checking who you want to win each given office, you just check R or you just check D and you're done. And so many people are lazy voters that just vote R, just vote D. It doesn't matter what troglodyte is on the ballot. You know, they vote for their party and that's it, as opposed to actually. So in the case of the Republican who won the Secretary of State race, he has been accused of several different things, not least of which he's been fired from the Secretary of State's office twice.
Wow.
That dumbass.
And now he's in charge of it. And the most recent thing is he voted in a different county than the county of residence where he took a home credit.
Oh, shit.
So
That dumbass.
that's who we picked as Secretary of State, just because he's a Republican.
Indiana, Libertarian Party of Indiana secured what's called ballot access for the next race because 5% went to that Maurer guy.
Yeah.
Which is, that basically just means you don't have to go out and gather petition signatures, and then you just file.
Which is funny because I think it's Todd Young, a senator from Indiana, did not get enough signatures to get on the ballot. But basically, the Republican Party kind of hand waved that, nah, it's okay, he's legit, and let him run so that he could get elected. So it's, you know, I swear I don't know which is worse, that or Nancy Pelosi's stock tips. You know,
well, I mean, you got to admit though, her stock tips make good money.
Oh yeah,
For her.
they absolutely do.
Oh, I mean, for people who want to follow it too.
Yeah. Although, gee, that assault on her husband by a Trump supporter sure fell out of the news pretty damn quick, didn't it?
It's incredible how you can get a hammer that deep into such a high level official's house.
Right.
Especially when the high level official opens the door for the cops when the police get there, and the guy's in his house with him, and yeah, it's funny how the news decided, well, this is a non-story. You know, here is a woman who had the most powerful office in Congress. Her
Yeah.
husband was assaulted in their highly secure residence in San Francisco. And it was, you know, Trump and those Republicans caused someone to break into the house and assault him. And then details started coming out. And then the news just stopped covering it. So, fun stuff.
Oh boy. Someone just said, "Oh, you're an FDR fan. Name 3 of his internment camps." I'm like, ooh. Oh. Oof.
Well, there's the one George Takei was locked in that he wants to have everybody who refuses to get COVID vaccines.
Yeah, that's a funny
He's the
one.
last person that should be fucking around with that kind of shit. That fucking hypocrite.
Yeah.
Douchebag.
Yeah, that was kind of a disappointment. I liked the character of Sulu on Star Trek. I thought he was
Well,
interesting.
the character is nice, but
I was excited at the prospect of him having his own show. I liked the idea of the adventure of Captain Sulu on the Excelsior and all that. And yeah, between that and some of the stupid crap that's come out of the mouths of the cast of Next Gen, it's like, wow, you guys are getting it, so I can't even enjoy watching Star Trek on reruns. It's like you.
Yeah. At least, well, let's see. I'm thinking of the other DS9. Haven't heard anything coming out of them.
Well, the actor that plays Cisco is a big fan of a certain Marxist writer and stuff from. But I mean, I know that about him, but I don't see him on Twitter.
Oh well, yeah.
Marx. So
a lot of the fan
different.
base, a lot of the fan base likes to go after the guy from Next Generation who played Lieutenant Barclay.
Mm-hmm.
Remember him? He was
yeah.
the lieutenant who was an engineer. He had like a holodeck addiction or something.
Oh yeah.
And he came out as very conservative. Wrote some articles, and some people like start hating him and stuff. And it's like, okay, sure, you can say what you want, but I mean, you can't argue the fact that his character was like, that's like, for me, is like separating the person from the character. Mm-hmm. Like Cisco and Picard, I think, are just incredible captains, even if mm-hmm. they have quite the interesting views in public.
Yeah, I actually like Cisco better as a captain than Picard.
Oh yeah, I mean that very much, like there's been jokes about how like what was that? They had like a meme. It was a meme of like Picard saying, I would never let my officers, commit war crimes or mm-hmm. become terrorists or something. And then it cuts to like Cisco saying, I let my officers commit war crimes and terrorist acts as a treat. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And you realize, I mean, they really pushed the boundaries with that. Like, you literally have his first officer was a former terrorist. Mm-hmm. There was Garrick, the barely sociopathic spy, basically. Mm-hmm. Everyone was so innocent in that first season, and then by the end of the show, like, everyone's just like has their own edge.
Yeah, I think Andrew Robbins is the name of the actor. He was the villain in the first Dirty Harry movie.
Okay.
Which was based loosely on the Zodiac Killer. But anyway, Andrew Robbins, who played Garrick was such an interesting character. There was a lot of layers and a lot of depth to that character, which I thought was cool. And the other thing that I liked about DS9 is the first place Worf got to actually be as cool as his character had the potential to be. Because on Next Gen, especially in those first couple of seasons, Worf's only purpose was to attack the monster of the week and have his butt handed to him so that some girl or someone else could come along and outthink the monster and win the day. Because being the big, strong, tough Klingon, the masculine Klingon, couldn't win. and that wasn't the case on DS9. He actually got to flourish as a character, and so yeah, there were lots of things about DS9 that I liked, and I liked it from the beginning. I know a lot of people say, especially in some of the fan magazines at the time, like Sci-Fi Universe, that DS9 was very slow and very negative about the start of DS9.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, really? Do you remember the first couple of seasons of Next Gen and how bad that was? And so yeah, I've always liked DS9 better.
Yeah,
than
like
Next Gen.
the same thing happened with Voyager. The very first season was just everyone, like every show you watch the first couple seasons, unless they're like they really know what they're doing, there's always just a little bit of that feeling of everyone's kind of trying to find their footing.
Well, and I'm not sure Voyager ever really found its footing. I mean, yes, there are some good episodes of Voyager, but the problem with Voyager for me is we have an episode where Seven of Nine has an epiphany and grows as a character, and that's completely forgotten by the next episode. And the fact that we're out on our own and we only have so much power for the starship, and so we've got to ration things, but it doesn't matter that we've destroyed 12 runabouts. We magically have a brand new runabout that works just fine when we need it. So the fact that you never saw them suffer the way that they were set up to suffer, I didn't care for. And the fact that Janeway, I don't know that I could have served under her. I really, really don't, because I don't ever think that her character was written in a way that was really likable or commanded respect the way I think a starship captain should be able to do. And her character's from like Bloomington, Indiana, so it's like 45 minutes south of here.
Yep. Have you been there?
To Bloomington?
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to cut classes in high school and go down to IU to look at chicks and hang out in the library. So
you know about the bust they have of her down there, right?
I've heard of it, but I've never actually seen it.
But yeah, they have a. I mean, like they did with what was that town in Iowa that Kirk is from? I think it's Iowa, right?
Yeah,
basically they have
birthplace of James T. Kirk. They have the future birthplace of. Well, it figures they would, because that's where IU is, and God.
It's. I could definitely see why. Like, definitely of the three, like Next Gen and their spin-offs, Voyager was the least interesting of them. Like,
I liked Enterprise better, and I'm really disappointed that just when Enterprise was really starting to find its footing and get interesting, and we could have gotten the Romulan War, they canceled it.
A little bit more of development leading up to the founding of the Federation. I've read up on some. They've leaked some information as to what season 5 of that show would be. They were talking about how like T'Pol would have had a possible grandfather that was Romulan, which explained why she wasn't the perfect Vulcan. There was talk that, well, because the end, the finale was a hologram, it technically didn't happen. Like, I think there was like some thing about how like Commander Tucker didn't really die. It was just a cover up.
In fact, there are actually novels written, Enterprise tie-in novels where he's alive, and that basically they faked his death in order to
protect him somehow.
And also to kind of tie into. I'm not sure if it ties into that special secret department within
Section 31.
Yeah, Section 31 or not. So, yeah.
So
Riverside, Iowa is the birthplace of James Tiberius Kirk. March 22nd, 2233, I believe. So
the
Iowa, at least until the J.J. Abrams crap movies came along and messed everything up.
Yeah, or whatever. What's his name? Kurtzman,
Yeah.
the new showrunner of the Star Trek series. Like,
Who is J.J. Abrams' protege, errand
horrible.
boy, whatever. Anything
Like, I
that
actually
Bad Robot
prefer
touches.
Abrams' stuff over Kurtzman's stuff.
Well,
Uh,
you can have really bad J.J. Abrams track, or you can have a copy of very bad J.J. Abrams track by somebody else, and that's
Yeah.
what you get with Alex Kurtzman.
The new Picard's, so it's supposed to be 3 seasons of Star Trek Picard. The
Uh-huh.
last season is supposed to be a continuation of Deep Space Nine. Like, there's some connection to it.
Mhm.
I've struggled through the first 2 seasons because I just want to see, like, okay, how are they really going to ruin it this time?
Mhm.
The first season, only the first and last episode are worth watching. The whole middle, like, few were just crap. Second season was a little bit better, but then they threw in a bunch of stuff that was just completely disrespecting the canon.
Mhm.
They have this whole thing about how Picard was, abused and traumatized as a child, and it's like, I mean, what? Like, we've already explained why Picard is the way he is. It's not because he was traumatized, it was because he was stabbed through the heart in Starfleet Academy.
Right.
And then he had an appreciation for life and taking risks and being bold. But, like, no, we're going to just add in a thing where, like, his father tortured his mother, locked her in a room, and all this stuff. And I'm like, is this the future that, like, everything is supposed to be at least a little bit better? Where
Mhm.
people just didn't resort to that kind of thing? Like, oh, we got to make him edgy and dark. It's like, there's other ways of doing that. Like, they randomly bring in Q, and he makes no sense either.
Well, that's the thing. Star Trek wasn't supposed to be edgy and dark. It was supposed to be intellectual and hopeful
Optimistic.
and
Yeah.
optimistic. Yes, exactly.
The reason they made the Enterprise and Next Generation look so comfortable, carpeted, big comfortable seats,
Mhm.
very soft colors.
Yeah, the whole
Supposed to be-
ergonomic thing on the
Yeah.
seating. Yeah.
And then you maintain a lot of that, even when you look at even in Voyager and Deep Space Nine, you kind of maintain that when you're looking at Starfleet ships. Then you go into Enterprise is like, okay, well it's supposed to be early Starfleet days. Okay, that makes sense. And then Discovery came in and said, screw all that. It's just straight military.
Mhm.
We're going to be just hardline military. It's dark. We're going to see how many lens flares we can throw in before people start noticing.
Mhm.
And and we're just going to have a bunch of, like, obnoxious, like, women that have no business being officers.
Well, one couldn't even pass a basic PT test to get through Starfleet Academy. Is the rotund redhead who I like math or whatever.
Like,
She was the fat nurse in not Justified. Longmire. Yeah, so
and they tried to say, well, it was like Picard, right? Like, remember because there was an explanation why Picard was bald. Because in the future no one would care.
Yeah.
They said, well, wouldn't they have a solution to male pattern baldness? Yeah, they would, but no one would care.
And
I'm like, well, yeah, but that's different than, like, straight up. Like, you never really saw anyone even a little bit overweight.
Right.
Like, you would find, like, civilian scientists or something, or some alien race that, maybe wasn't as physically active or whatever, but never, like, Starfleet
What the fuck
officers.
are you guys rambling about?
Starfleet officers were never fat.
Yeah, you left, so we turned the show into Trek talk.
All right,
Sorry,
that's enough of that now. Stop that. Stop that. Stop that. Jesus.
So the Bajoran wormhole. No, I'm just kidding.
Aaron Clary's anus.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ.
with aliens in there.
Right? That's right.
how much of our audience did we drive away with Trek Talk? It's like
Everybody.
the analytics. Yeah, it's like
I think Chris is hanging on. And Chris is like, thanks, man. Seriously. I'm over here drinking my out of my Thulu mug. Yeah. So we're gonna call it soon because Amos is sick. I'm fucking old and tired, and Robert is sick. So
we're just sick and tired. We're something.
we're sick. We're sick. We're just sick and tired. We're gonna wrap it up soon.
Yeah.
Rob and Clary and Chad stole our thunder.
Yeah.
There's a-holes.
Should we go over there and like spam their chat?
Nah,
Bastards.
fuck them. I'm not even giving them the follower account.
Not
Yeah,
even a
we're-
benefit of our time.
Yeah. They don't
Nope.
deserve a dopamine hit from us. Screw 'em.
Exactly. Rob got me on Monday.
Why is he doing so many shows in a row?
He's on vacation. He's got a staycation, and he wants to broadcast every day for some reason. Like, all right. So he has a different guest every day. I started it off with Monday, on for almost 2 hours, about an hour and a half or so.
And how is he going to top that? Really?
Yeah, it's true.
I mean, he started off strong. He's not going to be able to top that this week.
Exactly.
I mean, they had to get Rolo on there or something, right?
Well, he's in Vegas. Otherwise, we may have been able to do that. But Thursday is his normal Let 'Em Burn, which he is hosting, and they're doing a marathon most of the day. So
Oh, geez.
by the time I wind up showing up, I'm sure Nick and Bulrush and Rob will be completely toasted.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
That'll be nice and toasty.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was one thing I figured was being sick and getting inebriated, we'll just say, on certain substances was it feels good when it's happening, and then the next morning you're not only tired because you're sick, but you're tired from what you were doing, and then you're just feeling way worse than you should.
You just got double whammied, yeah.
Basically, yeah. And I'm like, oh yeah. I felt
Why
real
did I
good
do that? Why was that? I think this is a good idea.
Well, it's like if you got drunk while you were sick. It's just, it double the strain on your body.
Yep.
Speaking of strains on your body, are you ever going to go back to doing your own show again, Amos, or is that kind of verboten with this new job?
Not necessarily. Like, I mean, my friend Brooke is even not, like, he's busy too with his, because he's working a job too. So, we chat, but like, there's not really a push to like go talk to do any shows. So yeah, I mean, nothing on my own. I know as things start to play out with what we're doing, I might pop in on certain types of shows, but I wouldn't be doing anything on my own for a while, I would say.
Okay. I would say, because if you did your own show, then you could do Trek Talk and,
we have to worry about Vince.
Yeah.
Right.
You wouldn't drive Vince mad, so yeah.
What the hell?
Yeah, no, I just not really
feeling it.
No, I mean, like I when I first started doing it, it felt like a lot of fun, and then towards the end, it felt like a chore.
Yeah.
Like, oh, we got to get up and do a show and all this. Maybe it's just the mindset I was having, but I haven't really, I'm fine doing these, but I'm not feeling like doing something on my own again.
Okay. Well, getting kind of footing on shows is kind of difficult. I almost think you just gotta do it because it's fun and it's like you hang. That's what I love about this. I come to this not to make any money or fame or any of that stuff. I enjoy hanging out with Vince and Drew and you and the guys, and it's just that's
really it for
every
me.
Wednesday night I get to hang out with my friends for an hour or two. That's
Exactly.
that's
I'm not really looking for much beyond that. Just with, but I'm, So I'm not really looking for anything to do on my own. Nothing that I feel a need to like, I write stuff, I post stuff, people see it. But really what I'm doing is, the work I'm doing I think is more important at the moment.
Right.
I mean, it's a whole new world.
Yeah.
When you're involved in your state's politics at such a level that what you do matters. And I'm like, I think that's a big deal there. For me. So
Makes sense.
Yep.
All right, gentlemen. I'm going to call it.
All right.
It was, as always, it's a pleasure to talk to you guys. Good to see you.
Yeah.
Always
Paint with
nice.
you. Yep. Got to get Amos involved in painting.
Yeah.
I'm more like, I'll get Lego sets,
We'll get the Lego sets and build them while we're painting.
Yeah.
Seriously, why did
Yeah.
you do that?
Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
get the really big, Death Star to build.
Yeah, well, sure, why not?
Have
Well,
you
hell,
seen
you
that
might
thing?
you might get Jack Napier to hang out and talk
Yeah.
to you about the.
It's like an $800 set of Legos. It's insane.
Oh shit!
Yeah, it is not cheap.
That's something-
In order to get Jack on a show like that, we'd have to do a late one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
true.
which I'm
Start
fine to
it.
do.
Yeah, we'd start at like 11 or something, like on a weekend or whatever. Friday night.
I wouldn't be
Friday-
done
Friday.
until like the end of the weekend because that's
Yeah.
how long it takes to build that.
Yeah, right. There you go.
15, 20 hours a month.
Jesus.
Well, gee, maybe you could build it on Rob's marathon, and they can just get drunk and make fun of you while you build Legos.
Oh, that's true. Have Amos do a terrain for D&D, 3D printed or her starts.
Yeah, that
You
would
could
work.
paint some terrain.
That's a good idea.
There you go. Yeah.
Nah,
Good paint, see? Cool.
rain. Well,
Thank you, Chris, for joining us. As always, good to see you in the chat. Good hanging out.
Definitely.
So, yeah, as we were talking earlier, try to have Drew on next Wednesday for his campaign, and then Rollo on the 21st. So here's how I think it's going to break down. The 14th, Drew's game. The 21st, in fact, I think it is. I think Rollo did say the 21st was good for him.
uh-oh.
I think. We'll find out.
Okay. Yeah, I'll be in
Uh-oh.
town. Okay.
You'll be all right.
Yeah.
And then the 24th, we'll do a Christmas Eve Rogue show.
Well, it's not so rogue if you're announcing it.
It's well, not in the moment Rogue, but Rogue meaning it's not something we normally do.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, so look smart ass.
Actually,
Actually, that's what I was thinking. Actually, it's not really Rogue, Vince. Look, you son of a bitch. It's
not Rogue,
if
you
I
see?
It's Rogue if I say it's Rogue, see? Rah. One for you, one for me. So, all right, that's how it's going to break down. 2 D&D games back-to-back next week and the following week, 14th and 21st. 24th will be a Rogue. Non-usual day of D&D. Non-usual day of MG. We'll do a broadcast, just kind of hanging out. Maybe we'll invite some different people in. Maybe get some people in from the chat, and then we'll be back to our regular schedule on the 28th. You can do
All right.
yeah. We'll see what we got going for the 28th, and then on the 11th, I think we're going to have Paul from Come On Man podcast to hang out.
come on, man.
Not real. Come on, man. Not really an interview so much as just us hanging out, talking like a round table. Just whatever we
Cool.
feel like talking about. We talk about. So, all right. That is it. It's 2 minutes to 11 here in the Best Coast, the East Coast. I'm going to leave you guys to it. Everyone in the chat, thank you for joining us. The people that did show up, and anyone who's watching or listening later, thank you much. And let me go over here. And we're going to... Everyone knows where to find everybody. We're not going to do that today. So
Okay.
we're going to just go ahead and do